All right. Somebody else who will be calling Kanye, I think maybe after we finish the conversation, is my next guest. Is one of the, I mean, he's a gentleman. There are a few gentlemen of Nigerian music industry, and I dare say he's one of them. The man from Jos, Jeremiah Gyang. He's standing by to join us. Is Jeremiah here already? Oh, Jeremiah, look at you.
Hello, Funmi. It's been a long
Jeremiah.
time. It's been over 10 years now.
I know. I know.
Yes.
I wanted to do this earlier with you because I know that when you do your live, sometimes you're outdoors and yours is so stunning. I love looking at the scenery, the background. It's
Honestly,
so stunning.
yes. It's
How
so
are you?
stunning, actually. Very well, thank you.
How's
It's been over
Laddie?
10 years.
Yeah, it's more
Laddie's
than 10
fine,
years.
actually.
And the
She's in the
girls?
other room, she's watching right now. The girls are really well.
Yeah, I want to see her before it ends. So,
No wahala. She will definitely show up here.
so I don't even know where to start. I mean, in the first instance, were you listening to Kanye earlier when she was talking about intellectual property in all spheres, and at the end of it, we were talking about the creative industry in particular. With you, did you
Yes,
have challenges with that?
yes. A lot of challenges, actually. This is Nigeria, so basically, you definitely. I listened to the whole thing. I started from the beginning all the way to this
Also, you
point.
also
So,
heard about it because I know that you're also passionate about the environment.
oh
Wait.
yeah.
I started this. I didn't start this the way I wanted to start it. The first question I wanted to ask you is, what's in the water in Jos?
Ah.
I mean, all of you guys from Jos, there are inventors, musicians, some of the nicest, some of the most. I mean, just most creative, most special people seem to have come from Jos. What
Oh,
is it? I
oh,
want to live in Jos.
oh, you should come here. Definitely, we'll get some land for you somewhere here.
Don't just be
Yeah,
telling me
you like
about
it here.
I want one where there's a mountain at the back and a river in front.
You would have both the mountain and then you have hills and you have a bunch of rivers.
So, what were your thoughts regarding first, I mean, for you as an artist, I
Mm.
know that there was a time where even for you, there were some issues around law and your work. Would you say you've had um, an equitable control of your work?
To be honest, I would say it's 50-50 for everything that, when I was in a contract, I have zero control over that. But for everything that, I have right now, I have 100% control over that. So,
Yeah.
I'm not as experienced as they are. The people that spoke before me were speaking. I'm like, oh man, I was telling my wife, we need to go back to the village. She said, but we are in the village now. I'm like, oh my God. Anyways.
You
So,
see,
yeah, so the thing is, I actually started music production in 92, but songwriting I started in 88.
yeah.
So with regards to music, I have a lot of experience, so I can talk about that. So the way I look at law in Nigeria, let me just give you a little story. There's this story that there was an elephant saw an antelope running. He's like, yo, why are you running? What's going on? So the elephant says to him, the antelope says to the elephant, yeah, the police guys are looking for all the goats. And he says, but you are not a goat now. Then he says, yeah, it will take 20 years to prove that in a Nigerian court. And then the elephant starts to run too. So, yeah, hey, I just
That's a
don't try
good
to
one.
get myself mixed up with those guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good one. But
Yeah,
most people, you have the first album, and that
yeah,
went, it was big. You started that album, I think, when you were around about 18. You were a child prodigy yourself, but you didn't do the superstar thing, kind of like move to Lagos, move abroad, and all of that. You stayed in Jos.
yes, I did.
Why?
Um, I came to Lagos for a bit. I actually moved to Lagos for a bit. but there was something a little not so organic about Lagos that it was affecting my creative process. And it's like you pull the fish out of water, because for the most time I was not as creative as I should have been. So I was depressed for a lot of the time I was living in Lagos. Not because I don't want to live in Lagos, but because the conditions were not really perfect. You understand? So I just came back home because there's no pressure. You know, the traffic in itself in Lagos would kill someone's creative juices. You know, by the time you get to the studio, you are dead. You don't even want to create nothing, you know, and I'm not really used to that life. So that's one of the reasons why I always wanted to come back to Jos. You know, that's the main reason why Jos has something for me, because you wake up every day not thinking of music. You are just thinking, I just need to take a shower and live. You know, it's just fine. Just go outside, you know, look at the farm, or it's so easy. It's so straight to the point. But Lagos, the madness is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that actually slammed the brakes on me.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know what you mean about Lagos, and you know about many big Lagos in particular is quite challenging in that way. But
yes, it is.
but you've been you just is a place where people don't think about, especially in recent times, they don't think about it as a place to be in peace and happy in. You know, when people hear just they hear the conflicts. You know,
Yes.
they think you know it's a war zone. People are getting killed. That's the thoughts at the back of most people's minds. Is this not so?
It's not fully so. Right from the day I was born to this particular point, I've never seen a conflict scene, but I've been in Jos while conflicts were happening, and for the most part, it was happening in the outskirts of Jos. But when people are talking about things happening in Plateau State, most of the time they just say Jos.
Wow.
So, yeah, people just look at, if something is happening, for instance, in Mile 2, then they will tell you there's conflict in Lagos. And so that's one of the things I believe that has actually really affected the image of Jos in itself. I think part of it is the propaganda, is how the media presents the news in itself. I think there's something wrong with that.
Right, right. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I've not really thought about it like that. That you know, it just seems like the whole place is boiling. But when I saw your videos, I'm like, it doesn't look like it. I mean, talk to me about the lockdown and COVID and all of that. How have you coped? How have you done? You seem to be productive right in the middle of it.
Yes. Because my life is just right here where I am. So while the lockdown and all that stuff is going on everywhere else, the air here is still everything is still fresh. I just wake up, you look out the window, it's that vegetation that's looking at you. You understand? It's not a lot of people that actually, there's not a lot of commercial activity happening around here. So for the most part is what we hear and what we see on social media in itself, but it has very little to do with us. But you know what it is, we have to respect the government, we have to wear our stuff, we have to be kitted, we have to make sure that we do what is right, what we are required to do by the law. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it's a little quiet here. I don't think it's really that much a big deal in Jos.
So I mean, you look happy, and when I look at you, I just want to be there. You know, somebody said something there. One of the comments was talking about you being one of the most gifted musicians out of Nigeria, and I would agree with him. And I spend usually when I'm talking to somebody in a particular area, I spend the day if it's music, I spend the day listening to their music. And the way I would describe your music, aside from everything else, is that you know it has beauty and kindness. You are a person who wants to make beauty music for people to be better, you know, that sort of thing. That's how your music strikes me. It's wide ranging. You know, I can see your work in soundtracks, in you know, on you know, regular music album that people listen to. But then somebody said there that you know maybe that's the problem really with a lot of the kind of music that we get in Nigeria, because I mean Nigerian music is doing quite well. However, it's a certain type of music. There isn't enough diversity. is it the kind of music we are getting? Is it because a lot of it is being made in wild Lagos and wild Enugu and wild, no, Enugu is not as wild, but wild cities, and people are not as connected? Because it seems like your music is connected to nature. When I hear you talk, I know you talk about God too. You seem really grounded and connected in that way. So you make really beautiful music. When I listen to your music, sometimes I just want to cry, no how. I want to confess all my sins. I want to feel better.
Well, first of all, I have to thank you for the beautiful comments. Thank you. I really appreciate them. To say the least, it's really encouraging. I don't look at myself like my music is just an expression of my reality. That's just I'm not the kind of person that goes into the studio to say, okay, so I want to write a song about this, that, and the other. No, 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 no. I'm the kind of person that's like music is like labor pain for me. It's once it hits me, once I hear a sound, I need to get a studio right away. I need to get to the studio. But what I feel is, I think one of the biggest problems in Nigeria is balance. I think a lot of times once convenience comes, people throw health to the trash. I have the opportunity to grow tomatoes and all these natural herbs that you use for soup. So it's better to actually use the natural things than to go and buy the canned goods, because the natural things present you with better health opportunities. Whereas once you have to go to the store to pick up stuff, you don't even know what preservatives, you don't know what chemicals are put in there. You don't know how good it's for your health or not. So same thing with the music. People think that we should make music for money. People don't, a lot of times, a lot of people here don't think about operas, don't think of having an orchestra. They don't think of having the local women's fellowship. They don't play music for healing. I believe that music is supposed to heal the spirit. If you remember a story in the Bible, King Saul had to look for a musician that would help him to calm down when certain evil spirits started to torment him. So we don't factor that into our reality. We don't understand the depth and how much music can do to heal us. And I don't want to get disconnected from that reality just because I'm trying to make, I'm trying to become popular or I'm trying to make money. I don't want to get disconnected from that. It's real. I'm content. I'm okay. I feed my family. Thank God I'm not, in the eyes of the public where there's a paparazzi, people looking, what car is he driving today? Thank God, because what if I just feel like I want to ride a bicycle? They're gonna drive me crazy. They're gonna drive me nuts. So I'm so grateful to God for the little things that He gave me, and I was patient with them, and eventually I understood that those are the most important things in life. So
How were
that's
you
what we
able
need
to
to do.
find that balance? A lot of young, and when you started too, you were very young. So a lot of young musicians don't find, because all the messages, I see young boys and girls here, and I feel for lots of young people too, and the pressure on them. I didn't grow up in a generation of social media where it's kind of like you're catfished every day,
Yeah.
but yeah, but they did. And so kind of distinguishing between what is good for you as a human being and what you are expected to do and have can be difficult. So how were you able to pull back? How were you able to find that balance and still not start? Because for some people it's also about survival. If they don't do it, they don't have money. I have young artists that I love, that I support, that I want the best of, but then they're doing what seemingly is asked of them. It's an industry, just like churns people out, turns them in and out. So I don't know where there's a space for the person in all of that. How did you navigate all of that yourself, and how did you find that balance? And have you actually found it?
I think I have. I think life is a journey that helps you to, even if you do find a balance, you continue to perfect it. One of the things that I've come to find is that once you disconnect yourself from the mainstream actually does feel like the matrix. Once you are able to disconnect yourself from the mainstream and find yourself, who you are and what you are, I think that helps. One of the things I realized was that the Bible says that the gift of God you know, it makes rich and it adds no sorrow with it. But my years with being signed and all that stuff, it was so sorrowful. There was too much depression there. And then it says that the gift of a man, you know, it makes room for him and it makes him to stand before great people. I consider you to be one of the greatest people in Nigeria coming out of Africa. And I'm here with you. That's something, that says something, you know, that says I did a couple of things right, if you know what I'm trying to say. So the point I'm making is that if I discovered what the Word of God was saying, not what the Christian church was saying, not what the pastors were saying, but what the Bible was saying, and I stuck with it. I had faith. So I wasn't selling myself to an industry. A lot of people spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to figure out how to make money. But I spent a lot of time and effort and money trying to figure out what God actually put in me. I need to understand what that music is so I continue to bring it out in its perfection. So that's what my life became about, and I think that's what my balance is.
I mean, to start with, I also want to say to you, thank you for expressing those sentiments about myself. I share the same with you. And I understand when you said, for example, that it's like childbirth. You just have to go, you know, because it's in you. You know, it's like if you don't do it, it eats you up. And when you
That's
do
right.
it, until you finish, when you finish, it feels like you've just had a child and you're exhausted.
Exactly.
You have to go into a little cocoon to be able to come back again. So it's a process.
Exactly.
It goes back to the conversation about the natural world. Because even for land, for example, if you use a piece of land, you take a break so that that land recovers. You know, but the process of the world we live in, the modern world, it keeps you on a treadmill, running like the hamster, round, round, and it tears people to bits. You know, and I think we see it in some of the COVID outbreak itself is the ways in which the world, the universe, the world actually basically said, stop. You know, I can't do this anymore. You want to kill yourself, go ahead, but I'm not going to go along with you. I'm bigger than
That's
you
right.
in that regard. But you've been doing something interesting. You've also been distributing your music now a different way. Because I saw you saying to people, and I like that, you basically challenge, because people have become so busy and so distracted by, I call it, you know, it's like the performance, the constant performance. They themselves don't even see what they really like. So you challenge people recently, you're like, share my music. You say, like, share it.
That's right.
I like that honesty, because also people have become very closed in. I find people, unlike even 10 years ago, when people like something, they go, no, I like this, I like this. Now everybody's protecting their platform. You know,
that's right.
And I'm like, yeah, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So what brought you to that point for you, and is that working?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that a lot of people have been the market has controlled people to the point where people actually depend really on what the market says before they make a move. So if you as a musician is not working with the marketers, there's more respect for the marketer than for the content. And I think that there's a huge problem with that, because it now means that everyone needs to make a deal with the middlemen to reach the consumers. And the consumers seem comfortable with that because the marketers sold them convenience, you know, with regards to all sorts of platforms. So what I'm selling to people is very simple. If you feel like the product is what you want, why don't you just go for the product? Why do you have to try to get the product to because there are certain things, for instance, like I was saying a couple of months ago, that apples don't grow everywhere. They grow only in certain terrains. So if you want to grow apples, you have to actually be in that terrain to be able to grow those things. So why are you telling me to come and grow my apples? What I have is apples. So don't make me change my terrain just because you want an apple in that particular terrain. I don't know how to do that, you know. So word of mouth, I just need you to recommend my product. Tell people, hey, listen, I like this stuff, because I hear people a lot say, where's Jeremiah? I'm his fan. But another principle about being a fan is if the person who you are fanning is hot, then you're not really doing a great job. So why don't you try to improve? That's just what I'm saying, you know.
I understand you, and I mean, I get similar ways like, oh, they do, I think I find it hard to, not what I don't find it hard. I see that people struggle with with the concept of a person who does not need constant validation. I know what I am. I don't want to be anything other than what I am, because that would be a waste of time. I have respect and appreciation and awe and wonder for what others are also. And exactly what you're, and I think this is important also for anybody in any field. If you're an orchid, you need a certain kind of environment. If you're an apple, you need a certain kind of, you have to know which one you are. You cannot grow the way an orange grows. Goes back to understanding the natural order of things. And if you're like easily, you're a lot more content. So you're not afraid not to be hot. So for me, for example, I explain it with people that I can say to that I'm detached from things. I honor when people recognize what I'm doing. I have respect for it. I honor when they don't, because it might not be what they like. But basically, why I'm doing it is I have an imperative to do it. That's what I came here to do. And if I didn't do it, I won't be happy. And really, at the end of the day, it's about surviving in this sphere for me. I'm not surviving in terms of money, but surviving as a fully intact being that came here to do something. So I don't get distracted. I also don't get jealous. I truly wish everybody well. I'm on my own journey. Always have been. And I see that about me, which is why I want a house beside yours in Jaws, as I keep pushing this matter.
Man, you should come.
We did a song recently where, and I'm asking that question in the back end of Black Lives Matter, the global movement, and of course what our own role should be as Africans living in Africa. You were talking about Black people returning home. I mean, any piece of artistic work is open to interpretation. So my interpretation was that you were asking people of Africa to come back to themselves, or to come back. Were you talking about coming back to a physical home, like coming back to Nigeria? Or were you talking about them coming into a knowledge of themselves? What were you talking about? I like that song, by the way.
Every coming back really starts spiritually before it happens physically. So it's a double-edged sword. Just like you said it correctly. It starts from your mind. You have to come to a place. I think one of the biggest problems we have as a people is our ability to respect one another. Someone told me, I was on an interview with someone some days ago, and he said that other races have done more harm to us than we've done to them. And I said, yes, but we have done more harm to ourselves than anyone has ever done to us.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the biggest problems that we need to resolve. We need to come to a place where we celebrate our platform, we celebrate our people, we celebrate ourselves. A lot of people have been telling me for the past couple of months, this is your greatness, good things are coming. I'm like, no, you are my greatness. You are the good things. Once you are here sharing, then I'm good. Don't look at it like something is going to come from somewhere. It's like we keep waiting for something to happen. No, we live in the past. We need to live in the present. You are it. Let's just move. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit down and say, yeah, bless me, something great is coming in the future. No, you are the future. That's it. Happen.
I love that. You are the future. Happen. We should trademark that. And put it on t-shirts and sell it and give it to everybody. What you just said for me is really key, because a lot of the conversation around the world, there's a conversation to be had with other people. There's a conversation to be had with ourselves. I said recently to someone that there's a difference between justice and charity. You have to be really careful. Nobody, you have to be careful not to be asking for charity. To get justice, you have to be at a place where you yourself have come to you have come to forgive yourself. You come to know yourself, so you can know exactly what you're demanding. And I think that well, you alluded to it now. If I say how it is that if somebody Punch newspaper can write a story about me today, and nobody really cares. If CNN writes a story about me, I'll get 50 calls. Oh, Funmi, we saw you on CNN today. And I think it's nice, both CNN and Punch, but I do think that Punch would have nuance with understanding me. And it's important that I pay attention to what
There you go. That's
so,
the spirit.
That's where I'm coming from. It's like, the t-shirt I'm wearing is made by a young Nigerian director. I'm sure you won't like me calling him young, but for me, he's young. And that's Abba. Is his design with the Nigerian platform. Wow. This is us. I know the material itself, the t-shirts, this cotton is Funtua cotton from Katsina.
Funtua. Okay.
It's Funtua. It is the most comfortable. I can live in this dress. We live in this dress. That's
that's so sweet.
I'm always seeking people to, just like, what are they doing? Is it really cool? Come and see what my brother is doing here. Because if all of us did that, then we grow powerful brands. And with power, we can go and talk to other people. You must not appeal to people's better sides only. Appeal to their self-interest.
Oh my God, man. We need to put you on CNN right now, man.
You put me on whatever platform. We are here on my platform. CNN.
No, we love your platform, but here's what I think. I think our people sometimes I feel like our people listen to other people more, but like sometimes once you have a really powerful message, and you want to bring it up. For instance, right now, I feel like the ends of the earth need to be hearing this conversation.
Exactly, but I feel like we have to become aware of is that other people have their own agenda and their way of looking at the world. And
that's right.
They will self-select. They will naturally self-select to what suits them. If you want to tell fundamental truths, this is not always comfortable. And I use the term comfortable. That's not a judgment. All of us, naturally, we don't like change. So when somebody says something like, oh, I don't really like that, it takes coming into an agreement with nature to understand that nature is change, constant change. So you should not worry when something doesn't go right. You need to go with it because that change is leading you in another direction, taking you to where you need to go. That is the God code. I call it the God code.
Something is happening with you today, man. Like I'm in tune with what you're talking. Talk to me, girl.
I don't talk to everybody like this, but me and you were in commune. We're in commune of this. That's why I asked about your wife. I asked about your daughters because I know that we carry so much. I would ask about your grandmother, your grandfather, because we carry even the ancestral spirits.
That's right.
And if we come into a realization of who we really are, then nothing and nobody can stop us, really.
That's right.
Me and you are having sort of like this, whatever. People are saying things, for example, they accuse me of that they think that I don't love God. And I'm like, no, you don't. If you're connected to nature, there's no way you would know. The question is, who is God to you? Are you talking about your pastor or your church? Because then that means that other people who don't go to that church do not pass muster. But the universal energy that's made all of us is one.
That's right.
And that's what I see when I see you and what you're doing and what you're. But what's next for you? I know you have a new song out. What's next generally?
The way I look at it is this: I've arrived on a path. This is my journey. This is my reality. This is everything that is my essence. And I think I found it. A song is just a fruit on a tree. I don't need to bother myself too much about just a song. Because tomorrow is probably going to be a video, next tomorrow. So people need to understand that this is a culture. This is a reality. This is not a joke. And if we don't take ourselves seriously, who is going to take us seriously? If you don't love yourself, why do you expect other people to love you? So this is not just, I release a song every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks I release a song. So this
really? That probably, because no wonder I was wondering because there were so many. And I was like, is that one the new one? Is that in what? Wow. You know, by the way,
Yeah.
that thing you said earlier, you know, if you don't love yourself, how is anybody
Yeah.
going? All like I hear is Pastor RuPaul in my head.
Oh, okay.
And I call that because anybody who says profound truths, I mean,
Hmm.
they're saying things that we need to hear. So every 2 weeks
Exactly.
you release a song every 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes, I release a
Why?
song every 2 weeks because I don't look at myself as a musician. So I don't drink water from where musicians drink water. I look at myself more as a prophet. So I drink water from where prophets drink water. So it means I have a message for the people all the time, and I don't want to have to always wait until it's time to release an album. You understand? So if you're trying to wait for when it's time to release an album, then you're not going to give people the message that they need to hear. So if God is trying to say something to the people, I don't want to waste God's time. I just want to go straight to it. So, and I'm always hearing new songs all the time. There's no time I'm not hearing a new song. And right now I have so many songs because for so many years, I've been waiting for an opportunity to put those songs out. You understand? So right now, finally, you know, I've come to a point where I've set myself free from the idea of what the system says it has to be. They say it has to be an album. And I say,
Absolutely.
why? It doesn't make sense to me because I have to wait after every 1 year or how long before I put a new album out with how many songs now? No, that no.
Yeah. But you know what's actually really cool about what you're saying? The
Talk to
world
me.
is changing.
Mm-hmm.
COVID in particular has thrown everything out of the water. It means that the most innovative use of what we
Mm-hmm.
have is what will yield results. So, for example, since you know in your soul that this is how
Mm-hmm.
this must be, it means therefore
Mm-hmm.
that instead of building platforms, what you're going to build is a community, and the community must be monetizable. So the fans,
Yeah.
someone like you, for example, because you know, I mean, I'm your sister. Let me
Mm-hmm.
talk to you now as a sister. You have a wife,
Mm.
you have two lovely daughters. You're still
Yeah.
going to feed them even in Jos. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
people like you, you know, should be trusted with power. Because power
Yeah.
in the hands of those who understand love, who have love, then becomes something really sublime. So
That's right.
I see already people, you're already building a followership that is dedicated. That dedicated followership will go the way with you. And the world is changing. That's what other people are going to come to. Because the
Mm.
system, okay, so who is going to concerts now? Oh, yeah, we'll take the concert now. You know, be going and let me be saying, oh, yeah, fly now, let me be saying. And it's not
Mm.
going to stabilize for a while. And even when it stabilizes, it will change. So this is
That's
the
right.
time to create something new. And I don't know what
Mm.
that new is, but I know you are going to create it because I see that you already have the base, you know, the community committed to you, and you have challenged them. I also like that because one of the things we did before, what we're doing is we're trading artists instead of
Mm-hmm.
trading arts. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this artist must do our will. You know, they must say what
Mm-hmm.
we want to say. If you want to get a reaction on Twitter today, you can just say one thing. You know the thing you say, everybody will be hailing you. What is the point of that? You know, so you therefore by challenging your followers and your fans and your friends and saying, if you truly believe in this, put your money behind it, put your acts
Exactly.
behind it. Then you build people
Exactly.
who also are engaged in that way, who are not fickle, I think. Is this an interview or are
Thank
we
you.
just talking?
I think this is a conversation and it's a beautiful
Yes.
one. And what you are doing as well is you're actually really encouraging my fans because my fans love you. They love you. I told them that about the time that I had an interview with you many years ago, and then how I came for your change a life. I think it's change a life, right?
Change
That's your
life.
foundation.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Change Life
So
Foundation.
yeah, that's when you actually invited me over, and it was such a beautiful experience. And one thing I've always experienced and encountered from you is love, and I always have appreciated you for that. And I've always kept with Seki for all these years. I've always kept in touch with her. So basically, this is for me. This is a beautiful conversation, and I think what you're doing is you're actually encouraging my brothers, my sisters, my fans, my followers. There you go. They are telling you they love you. Am I a bagger? What are you doing here?
I love that. Can we say? I believe it's what invested in. Absolutely. I have deep. I wrote this when I was 23. I have deep and abiding love for Nigeria and Nigerians. I have deep and abiding love for all human beings. I don't know why it's like that, but that's why it's how it is. Especially because I'm born on this soil. I understand this place. I also know when I say I have deep and abiding love for Nigeria, I'm not speaking just for Nigeria. I know that when Nigeria gets her acts together, it will benefit the rest of humanity. So it's a universal thing. And I say it now, not knowing when it will happen. Me, I will go when it's my turn. But there will be other people. And one day things will change. But it will not be said that I didn't say the piece that came to my mind at the time that I was here. You know, so that's why you will see me share the love. I would, no matter what I get in return, I will share it, because it's not about what people give me back. It's about what I'm meant to be doing, and I have to do it. You know, and you have made me say what I want to say normally.
Oh, but you know, you're a beautiful person, and what you do is you give people platforms, you give people opportunities, and it will. The way God works is that He gives it to you 100-fold, pressed down, shaken together, running over. It comes back to you, back to you, into your measure, into your store. Thank you. Like I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, and it's always been good to talk to you.
Thank you too, and you know, give my love to the ladies in your life.
Laddie, come here, Laddie. Let me just have her come here so she can say stuff to you. Lanze, come over and say hello to Funmi.
That name. That's one of my favorite names, Laddie, because you know it's a name that's so like it's tonal, and then when it changes the back where it comes from when you see it. She's a you know we relax in the bedroom.
Hey, how are you? Wow, so good to see you. Hello.
It's so good to see you too.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. How have you been?
Very well, thank you.
Oh my God, you've not changed. Like your face is still the same.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
thank
ma.
you.
Yes,
ma.
Thank you so much for this.
Like to see your face.
Oh, thank you. This has been
an good woman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank God as well. Thank you so much. Interesting conversation. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Because I watched the two of you and I see the kind of bond that's between the two of you, and it's lovely to see. You know, I'm with you. Anything you need me to do at any time, I'm a phone call away, and I will come to Jos. Trust me, I will come to Jos.
I will totally host you here. You better come. We cannot wait to have you here. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You too. All right. Bye-bye now.